You know, looking back, there's a lot of cross-dressing in ancient cultures and myth. Sure, we've all heard of Fa Mulan, but there's also Hercules, Achilles, and even Athena, all who ended up in the other gender's clothing at some point or another. Hercules did it because of his punishment for murdering Hephaestus and was forced to do women's work as punishment. Achilles because his mother Thespius was trying to hide him away from Odysseus in the Trojan War. And Athena aiding people in the guise of a man. Hell, even Odin dressed up as a woman in an attempt to seduce the giantess. Goddess? Human princess? Make up your mind, mythology. Rendir, who later birthed the Avenger of Baldur's Death Valley. Okay, so the Hercules myth thing didn't age well compared to the others, but this is still a factor that has played a role in several myths in some form or another that managed to transcend time. But one of my favorite myths, if only for the sheer hilarity of it, is the myth about that one time Thor lost Mjolnir. Please do not crucify me for the pronunciations. I am trying my best. I already have a hard time speaking in my native tongue. Adding Norse names and words into the mix make me sound like a drunk ordering off the kids menu in an Olive Garden. On to the myth. First of all, Marvel's whole only Thor or someone equally as worthy can pick up Mjolnir thing, yeah, forget that. That's not the case. Well, not truly, anyways. It's more so that it's so absolutely terrifyingly powerful that only someone like Thor in strength and power can even hold the damn thing, lest they disintegrate on the spot. So you can imagine when Thor awakens to Mjolnir suddenly having gone missing, he's gonna be pretty pissed. Thor initially blames Loki for the disappearance, because who else would take it? Loki is literally aesthetic or die and do it for the lulz personified. But Loki keeps telling Thor that he's not the one who took it. Despite his insistence, however, Thor doesn't believe him and is thoroughly pissed off at Loki for presumably taking his hammer. Dude, you can't act surprised considering all you've done and will do just for the joke. By the way, how's Baldur doing? Anyways, Loki realizing he needs to get proof he didn't steal Mjolnir, borrows Freya's feather cloak, which allows him to fly. Despite the fact that he's the shapeshifter and is a little it's all contrived. Using the cloak, he flies over to Jotunheim where he discovers the frost giant King Thrym has the hammer, will only return it if Freya agrees to be his bride. Freya is, understandably, totally against the idea. So the Aegir get together and try to formulate a plan. After going back and forth for a bit, they settle on none other than Heimdall's idea, which is to dress someone up as the lovely and beautiful Freya in order to sneak into the giant camp and get Mjolnir back. And everyone agrees to the plan. And guess who Heimdall decided on? Once he got his American Next Top Model makeover done, Thor and Loki, disguised as Thor's beautiful maidservant, hey, it's a 2-for-1 deal on the cross-dressing in this myth. They make their way over to Jotunheim. Thrym is, of course, overjoyed when Freya agreed to become his bride, and, like in any true Nordic myth, has a party to celebrate the wedding. All the while, Loki desperately tries to explain away why the most beautiful and refined of the goddesses is drinking like a Nordic warrior, growling whenever Thrym looks at her, and rocking a sudden, yet fabulous beard. Eventually, Thrym, wanting to show off to Freya, is like,
"Hey, baby, you want to see my hammer that I stole from Thor in order to marry you?"
Thor, doing his best not to scream, "Yes!" at the top of his lungs, happily agrees. Where he promptly kills all the giants in the room once Mjolnir is safely in his hands. Moral of the story? Don't underestimate a pissed off thunder god rocking a dress.